Good day, my dear friend. Thank you all for the tremendous activity on our previous videos. I am immensely grateful that you subscribe, hit the like button, and support our channel. You are simply amazing. I remind you that tomorrow a new episode of Solo Leveling will be released, which we will watch together on my Boost channel, Wavont. Join me there, where we will stream the episode, chat, interact, and be among the first to witness it live. Unfortunately, you cannot watch it on YouTube because the channel gets taken down and even banned by Yulia Comedy. Every Wednesday, we also conduct chapter readings right here on this YouTube channel where we read the Ragnarok chapters together. In addition, I create recaps of the manhwa, so if you would like to request a manhwa recap or have me voice over any title, feel free to visit my Boost page and leave your suggestions. I also do recaps of several titles simultaneously, so be sure to check them out. For now, I wish you all a pleasant viewing experience. Before we dive into the discussion about his power, stats, and other attributes, let's take a moment to focus on his personal qualities. Igris is loyal, respectful, and chivalrous to such an extent that he is willing to kneel before his master every time the battle concludes. In his prime, he was known as the Blood-Red Commander, a knight endowed with enormous nobility and honor befitting a true warrior. During his first encounter with Onjinvu, when Ongenvu was unarmed, Igris displayed his chivalry by refusing to use his sword, accepting the challenge and engaging in a hand-to-hand combat, thereby showing respect to his opponent. He also possesses tremendous patience and, as mentioned before, unwavering devotion. Just imagine the moment he heard his master's final order to travel to another location and wait for the heir to arrive, and Igris, without hesitation, was prepared to prove the heir's worth. This clearly demonstrates that his former master, Esberun, had complete trust in Igris and never doubted his decisions. Igris was fully aware that his master expected nothing less than perfection from him, and he was even willing to sacrifice himself to fulfill that mission. Moreover, Igris understood that this was his master's final command, so he did not ask unnecessary questions and accepted the burden with honor and sincerity, waiting for his heir. Even when Igris finally sat on the throne in anticipation of his heir, he began to wonder if it might be insulting to his master for someone unworthy to occupy throne. This inner conflict showed how deeply he cared about his master's legacy, as if his very soul was entwined with every bone in his body. Let's now recall the time when I evaluated our Onjinvu during his entry. After that, a battle ensued, a series of disappointments where Igris could not understand why the heir was so weak that he could easily dodge his attacks. Even when the opponent was forced into close combat, something in him stirred admiration, for he dared to challenge him with bare hands. However, that too ended in disappointment as Igris effortlessly crushed his opponent while silently affirming that he was unworthy of sitting on the throne. Right before dispatching Onjinvu, Igris felt relief that the heir had failed, as his evident weakness meant that he could still serve his first master a little longer. Yet as we all know, the outcome took an unexpected turn. The heir surprised Igris with his persistence and will to fight until the very end. In one breathtaking moment, our knight saw in him qualities reminiscent of his master, Onjinvu. Even after everything, Igris questioned whether he had acted correctly and if he had truly fulfilled Esberun's order. Who exactly was Igris before becoming Onjinvu's shadow? Originally, Igris served Esberun, the previous Shadow Monarch, and was known as one of the most skilled and loyal warriors. His nickname, a Blood Red, is directly linked to his crimson armor, and in this role he fought in wars against the rulers, demonstrating exceptional swordsmanship and strategic thinking. In short, he was considered the most intelligent and powerful, the best of his kind, with immense strength, though that strength was sealed until a certain moment. An interesting detail, the author once described Igris and Esberun by comparing them to wings. We imagine Esberun with two wings, one resembling Belion and the other Igris. Yet the difference between Igris and Belion was vast. Belion was considerably stronger than Igris, creating a strange picture where the left and right wings were unequal. Perhaps the author did not intend to delve that deeply into the relationship between Igris and his first master. Unlike his relationship with Anjinvu when Igris became his shadow, he not only maintained his loyalty, but also experienced a full range of powerful battles with various opponents. He came to understand what love and human feelings truly were, remembering the very first praise from Anjinvu and recognizing the interest his new master showed in having him level up. In that moment, Anjinvu ceased to be just a master. He became a friend and comrade. We all remember the countless battles Igris fought alongside Anjinvu, and later we will highlight the most important ones. At that time, Igris was not simply a shadow for battle, he was so close to his master that he even helped him with homework. He understood the responsibility that came with his role, especially since his master's ant-like subordinate was utterly useless in many tasks. Igris bore the weight of that responsibility and studied the world and its knowledge intently, knowing that it was crucial to educate his soldiers. He regularly conducted training sessions in the shadow world for his subordinates and others, discussing various tactics or simply sharing insights from this realm. This approach not only ensured the absolute obedience of his shadows, but also allowed them to develop their own unique identities. The relationship between Igris and his first master grew even more nuanced when he argued with Belian about the necessity for proper education for his master's son, rather than mindless battles. He believed that the young one should focus on learning at school to become educated. Igris sincerely felt paternal affection for his master's son, rejoicing at every victory and always striving to help him overcome his limits. He often took on the role of mentor, nurturing the young one and even engaging in friendly battles with him. Igris was more than just a soldier, he was a mentor, a strategist, and a wise guide for those under his command. Let's now move to the moment when Igris first encountered our knight during a class change quest for Anjinvu. At that time, Igris was strong enough to defeat the dungeon's special enemy, demonstrating the unique skill known as the Hand of the Ruler. This ability allowed him to summon his sword from a distance and control it with precision. Even though he was at the S-rank level at that point, it is important to note that this was a weakened version of his true power, a version from before Esperon transformed him into a shadow. Before that, Igris was simply a human from another universe, where Earth was different, a place that still embraced chivalry and medieval traditions. I hope that someday the author will reveal more about Igris's past. After becoming a shadow, Igris faced certain limitations and, despite his relentless efforts, he could not fully restore his previous strength on his own. Thus, he had no choice but to level up alongside our main hero. An intriguing detail is the Hand of the Ruler skill, which apparently Igris did not originally possess. It is speculated and often discussed on Reddit that this ability was granted to him by the architect as a more pared-down version of the original power. This skill further developed and adapted when he became a shadow. Igris's first summon as a shadow occurred during a battle against a bear-like enemy, who later also became a shadow. Igris was visibly astonished at how effortlessly he defeated the bear and leveled up, receiving his first praise in return. That moment warmed his heart with the love he felt for his master, as even Anjinvu acknowledged that Igris was no ordinary shadow. Despite being weakened, Igris could have easily killed the bear, yet he restrained himself and proved his exceptional capability. Later during the same arc, Igris was summoned to kill a man and help defeat Barak and a rank monster and elf, who dealt significant damage to Igris. Though the battle was challenging, Igris managed to hold his ground and level up while slaying a couple of icy elves along the way. In one instance, Igris was cut at least 19 times while defending a dungeon, yet he continued to fight, gaining experience and even taking on roles like digging for crystals and looting gold. The author only occasionally mentions Igris's level in the Manhwa, but we know from several summons that in the Demon Castle dungeon, Igris steadily improved his level. After ascending to the 80th floor within a few days, he observed that his soldiers had also raised their levels significantly. If our tank reached level 24, we can surmise that Igris was probably around level 30 or 31. After meeting the demonic clan Yesel, Igris continued to level up until he finally reached his peak and transitioned from the rank of knight to that of elite knight, undergoing a transformation both externally and internally. He had to reaccumulate a certain level to ascend to a new stage, consistently leveling up through dungeon clearances. Despite his continuous progress, he could not reach his full potential until our main hero became a monarch. As soon as Onjinvu transformed into the Shadow Monarch, Igris's level surged, allowing him to surpass Burr, who had also attained the rank of Marshal due to Igris's greater battle experience and tactical acumen. In fact, even one of the monarchs once expressed concern over Igris's overwhelming strength. In my personal ranking of shadows, without a doubt, my top choices are Belial, Igris, and Burr. Now, let us explore what Igris can do once he regains all his abilities. Igris is a master fencer highly skilled in swordsmanship with centuries of experience in combat, making him the finest swordsman in the Shadow Army. Even Onjinvu acknowledges his strength, stating that his own fencing skills will never match up to Igris's. The most distinctive trait of Igris is his intellect truly. He is the most erudite and clever among the shadows. Imagine the precision of his tactics. He was a mentor to Onjinvu in many respects and trained all his soldiers, continuously raising their standards. This shadow not only inspires unwavering obedience, but also helps his subordinates become multifaceted individuals. Igris's power was also sufficient to hold off the Ice Monarch until his master returned, proving that he is not merely a subordinate, but a key pillar in the battle lineup. When it comes to speed, many believe that Burr is one of the fastest, but in practice, Igris and Burr are evenly matched in agility, considering the formidable opponents they have both faced. Telekinesis is another notable ability Igris can manipulate and control objects without physical contact, a simplified version of the hand of the ruler technique. It is widely speculated that this technique was not originally his, but was instead granted by the architect. Your opinions on this matter are welcome in the comments below. I recall that even Iron started using this ability, teasing Igris in the process. In essence, Igris is not just an elite warrior, he is a true knight who embodies honor, loyalty, and strength. His journey from the blood-red commander to the finest fencer in the Shadow Army is a story of evolving loyalty and the search for meaning beyond the battlefield. He not only fights in battles, but also understands the importance of educating those around him. Igris has been a mentor and strategist, training his soldiers and ensuring that his shadows not only follow orders, but also develop their own identities. His devotion to Onjinvu goes far beyond simple obedience. He sees his master as a friend, and in many ways, as family. In combat, he has repeatedly demonstrated his exceptional abilities, standing shoulder to shoulder with the strongest opponents and even battling against gods. His intelligence and experience always keep him one step ahead. Ultimately, when Onjinvu became the Shadow Monarch, Igris rightly claimed his place among the mightiest beings in this world, perhaps even in the entire galaxy. If we delve a little deeper, we find that there is another universe with its own creators who once said, "Let's create rulers and monarchs, but I won't make them too powerful, or they might be taken down easily." In our world, however, the creator declared, "I will endow them with immense power, and then we shall see what happens." This led to a situation where Igris is technically far stronger than others, transcending the usual boundaries of power in the universe. As history unfolds, one thing remains unchanged. Igris will forever embody the chivalrous valor of a knight in the Shadow world. An interesting fact mentioned in the novel is that each of his shadows is equal in strength to his national level literally. Every single one matches his might. This speaks volumes about his capabilities, especially when compared to our other characters like Burr. What do you think? I remind you that you can always subscribe to the channel. If you feel that this video is a bit raw or missing something, please leave your top comments below. I always like and pin the best ones. I genuinely enjoy reading your insights, and I eagerly await further revelations about Igris, Burr, Belial, and all these fascinating solo leveling characters. If you wish to dive even deeper into Ragnarok, which unravels the entire world that the original solo leveling story barely touched upon, then do join my Boost channel. There, every Wednesday, we stream and read a chapter in English, followed by a video recap, and you can even request recaps for any manhwa you desire. A million thanks to all of you for watching, lifting your spirits, and remember, if you are new here, know that I say see you soon rather than a goodbye. Yeah, see you soon.